So there's a pretty major new update on the alpha right now. If you mind, you should probably close your eyes and pretend that this never happened. Well, there are a few good aspects, but let's just take a look. There are some pretty huge patch notes, so I'll link it in the description. First of all, Crystal Halls now requires you to have Heart of the Mountain 4 rather than Heart of the Mountain 3. The Gemstone Gauntlet has been completely revamped, reducing the breaking power, increasing the damage, increasing the strength, halving the mining speed. A new passive ability, reduced to atoms. Mobs killed on mining islands now drop gemstones when killed with gemstone gauntlets. What gemstones they drop will correlate to the gemstones you have on your gauntlet. Killing these mobs also charges your gauntlet meter by 1. It has another new passive called Kinetic. Mobs killed on mining islands will now reduce the timers on all of your forge slots by a certain amount of time when killed with gemstone gauntlets. Now, that's really interesting. And the ability Gemstone Snap. The gauntlet meter stores up to 150 charges, 150 mob kills. Once fully charged, you may shift and right click with the items to drain your meter, giving you plus 50 mining fortune for 60 minutes. This effect does not stack. That is pretty interesting. I mean, it's been completely reworked. It mainly seems like they've added a few different abilities, but it's mainly a nerf, really, because the mining speed is what you're looking at realistically, and 1600 to 800 is half. Of course, we now have a Crystal Nucleus RNG meter, which is really cool. I feel sorry for a lot of people who have spent a ton of time on doing Nucleus runs, and of course this will not go towards the meter, so unlucky. And we can see the XP that you need in order to get basically all of the different items. 1,000,000 XP for the Advanced Alloy. To be fair, the old system for how the Advanced Alloy dropped was a bit interesting. It was different to everything else, which I guess made it, not too bad, but at the same time, it was just a little bit confusing. We've got a new subsection, Pure Ores. We have renamed the Dwarven Ores, such as Dwarven Gold, into Pure Ores. Their functionality remains unchanged. In addition to this, we have added pure variants of the remaining vanilla ores. This includes coal, iron, lapis, redstone, emerald, diamond. Okay, well, yeah, I guess that's not too bad. And yeah, as you can see, we now have lapis and redstone, and yeah, interesting. If you do actually come over to the Crystal Nucleus, you can click on the Nucleus Vault. If it lets me actually click it, there we go. And this basically is just a bit of a graphic that shows you which crystals you have placed. And also at the bottom, we have the RNG meter, so we can go ahead and click onto that and see that for ourselves. Now, what it will be interesting to see is that if the introduction of the RNG meter has an impact on how many alloys are dropped, whether it will increase the amount of alloys dropped or decrease the amount. Now, before we go any further, if you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS. It gets yourself 5% off. You should subscribe to the channel. If you watch the videos and you haven't subscribed, please make sure to do so. You should join the Discord server. It's linked in the description of this video. We have Slayers and Dungeon carries, so if you need carries or want to carry and make some coins, make sure to join. Okay, we have 7 new stats. The first one is Mining Spread. This stat is your chance to mine an additional non-gemstone block. Stacking over 100 mining spread guarantees you mine an additional block and starts working towards the next block, similar to fortune stats. Having 450 mining spread means that you will mine 4 additional blocks for every block you mine, and there is a 50% chance for you to mine a 5th. Kind of sounds a little bit similar to mole, from the tree. Gemstone Spread works just like Mining Spread, but it's exclusive to gemstones. This stat is compatible with Pristine. Also, it's very difficult to come by to compensate. I think that's a really, really good change. And it does say here in the designer's notes that it was unintuitive that Efficient Miner basically just didn't sort of work with Pristine, and I guess that's the fix. We've got 4 new sub-fortunes. Each of these types applies on top of the standing mining fortune for affected blocks. Okay, so that's really cool. Yeah, I guess that just means more fortune, because this is stacking on top of your regular mining fortune. Heat resistance. For every 1 heat resistance you have, heat will build up 1% slower while you're in the magma fields. The way heat builds up has all been revamped. So I guess this is, kind of similar in a way to the cold resistance. And I guess it shows you just how much it's changed. Heart of the Mountain Overhaul. Powder costs. Mithril powder will basically mean that you get from Heart of the Mountain 1 to 3. Then from 4 to 7, you're going to need to use gemstone powder. And then from 8 to 10 is glaciite powder. I'm not going to read through all of the tier changes because it's just too much and it probably wouldn't mean a massive amount. I would I would say if you are interested in all of these changes, you should probably just check out these exact patch notes in the description, because I will leave it linked. That's a pretty interesting one. Added a warning for when you mine with unspent Heart of the Mountain tokens. I feel like that could probably help a lot of people. Okay, so the Forge, more Forge slots. Added a Forge slot to Heart of the Mountain 5, 6, and 7. Remove the Forge slot from Core of the Mountain 2. All of the Forge categorization, should I say, has been resorted. All forgeable items into the following categories, and I guess there's new, more in-depth categories. And if we go ahead and take a look, number 1, we have way more slots. And our recipes look a lot cleaner. And I think it will be a lot easier to actually go ahead and find what you're looking for, because for me, when I go to the Forge, now I kind of want to see what materials I need. It's always a little bit of a mess and a bit jumbled, and yeah, this is a lot nicer to look at. Now, it seems like the recipes for pretty much every drill, it seems, and more, including drill engines, fuel tanks, and the list goes on, have been changed. But there's no obvious pattern. For instance, this mithril drill here has become cheaper to craft. This topaz drill has become more expensive. This jasper drill has become more expensive. This mithril plated drill engine has become less expensive. Once again, there's way too much to read through. A lot has been changed, so if you want to actually read through this, like I said before, just check the patch notes out. They've changed the costs for a lot of the base pickaxes too. A lot of the mining reforged stones have also been changed. Like, I think actually maybe all of them. A lot more has changed too. Mining pet overhaul. It's like they've got mining and they've got, you know, none of this was correct. The armadillo pet has been changed. Again. The rolling miner perk now scales with rarity. Replace mobile tank perk with long claws, which grants a lot of mining speed on hardstone. The bal pet is now a mining pet. Replace base strength and ferocity with heat resistance and mining fortune. Reworked all perks. Okay. This seems pretty cool. This seems pretty good. I mean, it kind of makes sense that it's a mining pet considering it's dropped from a boss in, well, the Crystal Hollows. I think this has needed to happen for a while. For instance, like here, the Goblin Pet, replace speed and crit chance with Ore Fortune. If it's a mining pet, it should give mining perks. This makes so much more sense. Replace Offensive Order perk with Field Thief, which grants mining speed in the mines of Devan. Nice. Or mining spread, should I say, not mining speed. It seems that a lot of things have been changed. The Mithril Golem Pet, the Mole Pet, the Scather Pet. Like I said, they're doing what they should be doing. Replace base defense with mining fortune. Why does the Scather Pet need to have base defense? Remove grounded perk because it's now part of the base stats. Yep. Burrowing now scales with rarity. Reworked Wormhole, so now gives mining speed on hardstone. Renamed Gemstone Power perk to Bejeweled Eyes. It just seems pretty, like, good, like, straightforward, like, logical changes. Once again, Silverfish Pet. Replace health with mining fortune. Good. Wow, mining tools, they've literally changed like, just look, they've changed so much, it's crazy. And these are pretty, like, random changes, they don't really seem to follow a pattern. I would say that, yeah, they really don't. Like, for instance, the titanium pickaxes, the mining speed has been absolutely slashed, but you get way more fortune. The Pickle Nimbus's mining speed has been halved, and the uses have been over halved as well. Both these mithril drills have gained mining fortune but had their ability removed. Sunnyside Goblin Omelette fuel consumption has now been quadrupled. There's so much that has been changed, it's crazy. Mining armor. Oh my god, is that... Okay, not everything. Armor of Devan now has heat resistance, 10 per piece, that's pretty cool. Yogg armor now has an extra 25 mining speed, 15 mining fortune and 10 heat resistance per piece. Glossy mineral armor, one of the coolest looking armor sets in the game. Passive now grants plus 200 mining speed on ores and blocks, and now has plus 50 block fortune per piece. Similar for the regular mineral armor too, other than this is just halved. So the Prestige enchantment has now been renamed to Prismatic, and now gives 0.5 pristine per level. Ice Cold enchantment now gives 1 cold resistance per level. 10 new items, the Precursor Apparatus, Haste Artifact, Royal Compass, Dwarven Treasure, Flow State Ultimate Enchantment, interesting. Titanium Minecart, Titanium Tesseract, Polished Topaz Rod, Rusty Titanium Pickaxe, Blazing Sphere, Starfall Seasoning, Pocket Iceberg, 4 Dwarven O's. So here we have the Precursor Apparatus can be given to Professor Robot to complete the Sapphire Crystal quest. Huh. That is interesting. So that's crafted by all of the 6 parts, and then you give you give the apparatus instead of the 6 parts. That's interesting. We also have the haste artifacts, which is just an accessory. We have the Royal Compass, which is the right-click ability. The True Dwarf shows the way towards the nearest missionary while in Dwarven Mines. Okay. We have the Dwarven Treasure Reforge, which applies the Royal Reforge when combined with equipment. It grants mining speed and fortune, and also grants additional mithril powder when from Dwarven events. That's pretty cool. Also, the Flow State Ultimate Enchant, obtained as a reward from participating in Dwarven events. Ultimate enchantment for mining tools, grants progressively more mining speed as you mine blocks consecutively. Interesting, that's pretty cool. Titanium Minecart, okay, so it's a pet item that grants 33.3 mining fortune when mining titanium. The Titanium Tesseract applies the Dimensional Reforge when combined with armor. Forge using 1 refined titanium and 16 enchanted lapis. Armor Reforged Stone that grants mining wisdom and speed. Reforged bonus grants plus 10 mithril powder every time you mine titanium. Polished Topaz Rod. It's a lava rod which gives you 100 damage, 100 strength, and 20 fishing speed. Its ability, Gem Siphon. Catching a lava sea creature reduces your heat by 2. Huh. Interesting. Rusty Titanium Pickaxe gives us 55 damage, 100 mining speed, grants 25 mining fortune while mining titanium. Okay. Starfall Seasoning grants 25 mining speed and 10 mining fortune, doubled when within 20 blocks of a fallen star. Place in the upgrade module slot of a drill mechanic. Okay. Pocket Iceberg applies the Scraped Reforge when combined with a mining tool. Forged using 5 Glaciite Jewels. Mining Tools Reforged Stone that grants breaking power. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Reforged bonus grants mining fortune if you're mining a block with the same breaking power as your tool. Interesting. Then we have the 4 Dwarven O's. We have the Dwarven O's Oat Ores. Then we have the Metallic Minis. Then we also have Gemstone Grahams. And also Block Bran. Okay, this is a consumable. And they're all going to grant you 30 of a different type of fortune. We've got Block Fortune, we have Gemstone Fortune, we've got Dwarven Metal Fortune, and we also have Ore Fortune, all for a duration of 60 minutes. Interesting and pretty cool. We've also got some other items like the Powder Pumpkin, which is going to give us more mithril powder for a percentage, 5% more mithril powder for 60 minutes. And we've got a Fillet of Fortune. Okay, McDonald's, you might want to try and hop on this one. Not a fillet of fish, 20%, oh, it's not 20%, 20 mining fortune for 60 minutes. Chilled Pristine Potato, effect is plus 0.1 pristine while in the Glaciite mine shafts for 60 minutes. Interesting, it's not a great amount of pristine. There's just a ridiculous amount of new items and changes, it's crazy. We've got a new NPC. That seems to be where you can get the pumpkin powder from and the fillet of fortune and so on. We've got Dwarven Events improvements. Bingo changes, which increases half the mountain XP gain from 100% to 250%, which is really cool. There's just a ton, there's so many different sort of requirement changes. You used to be able to use a lot of these mine items. They've kind of increased from Heart of the Mountain, I don't know, 20 to 30, or 4 to 5, or 5 to 7, or 6 to 7. Granted, a few have got lower, and just a ton of miscellaneous changes, bug fixes, and also if you just simply complete some of the tasks on the alpha, I guess just to help test to see if everything works smoothly, then you'll get a commemorative item, which is really cool. There's so many changes, I don't really know what to think. Some good, and I guess maybe some that people aren't very happy about. Let me know what you think in the comments. I decided to ask you guys what you think in my Discord server, and yeah, these are your responses to the mining update. Honestly, I'd say that the mining update is mostly trying to nerf gemstone mining, but buff all other methods at the same time. Yeah, I can kind of see that. F to all players who manually mine for a billion collection. It's going to be nice if all methods become just as viable for making money, not just gemstone mining being 2 times better than everything else, although that kind of nerfs Iron Man players, so probably they should add Iron Man Dark/Shen auctions first. However, I feel people are overreacting and only looking at the nerfs, but there are also many good buffs involved in this update, which I guess I kind of agree with, but that's just because I'm coming from the perspective of someone who doesn't mine a lot. And I don't think most people would mind having these things in the game if those were from the beginning. Although there are some issues, mainly the fact that you really can't get mithril powder from mining mithril because of how little powder it yields. Also, nerfs to stuff like Pickle Nimbus, Sorrow Armor, and Gemstone Gauntlet are completely justified. Those needed requirements, and Gauntlet was just too strong for the price. I agree with that, to be honest. It's sad for people who have worked towards it and got it, but I got all the way from Heart of the Mountain tier 7 to 10 with the Gauntlet, and it wasn't even that painful at all. The Gauntlet was too good for the price, I do agree. Local Dungeon Nod just says massive nerf, and I guess in the most part it probably is. A piece of why make powder grinding longer? I agree. Powder grinding is boring, and I get that things in Skyblock are supposed to be a grind, but when it is that brainless, like the amount of time that I put into powder grinding, I didn't get anywhere near close to maxing it out. It's a joke, really, and to make it longer is just, I don't know. It seems a little bit brain dead. So that's the things that are unnecessary, but some nerfs are justified. People are just too attached to certain mining methods. I'm pretty sure people will find better methods with time, and people wouldn't complain as much if these changes existed from the beginning. Although powder rates from ores are definitely way too low, there's a reason why chests are the meta for the longest time. Yeah, of course, that makes complete sense, I agree. Big piece of garbage. It's a mixed bag, but I feel there were a lot of really horrible changes that were unnecessary. Powder grind was already annoying and dumb, to be completely honest, and now it becomes even more boring. I agree, it just doesn't, it was unneeded. They changed Pickle Nimbus stats, which is interesting since any Pickle Nimbus that has been used at least one durability doesn't get updated to 2,000 uses left. The speed and braking power got updated though, so that's interesting. I don't care about anything else. I mean, yeah, get your priorities right, I guess. To be honest, I've kind of already gone through my mining arc, so I don't really mind much, so it's not going to be affecting me too much. But, you know, a lot of people mine quite a lot. It's good for money. Just let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.